Please rise for invocation by Pastor Nathan Euchre of Victorious Life Church, followed by Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor, thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Mayor and councilmen and city officials, thank you for the honor of praying for your meeting this evening. I also want to pray for you and your families if you would allow me to.
Yes, sir.
Let's pray. Father, thank you for this meeting. We do ask that you would come. We ask that your presence would give wisdom and counsel to these men that have stood in the gap for this city. We thank you for all their yeses, for their families' yeses, for their children. We're asking that you would bless this evening's meeting. We're asking that you would bless their families and bless, God, Lord, their futures. Lord, thank you for this great city. We pray that you would bless, Lord, the future of this city and that your favor would be upon it. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilman Foley?
Here.
Councilman Gephardt?
Here.
Councilman Green?
Here.
Vice Mayor Grubbs?
Here.
Mayor Stone?
Here, we have a quorum, all 5 in attendance. Item 4, public comments on consent agenda items only.
Where's Robert?
I've just given that, just making sure he's not sitting in a corner where I can't see him, so. All right, no comments tonight. One second here. We do have some resolutions on there. Wow, 20 pages are a challenge tonight. Can I get a motion to approve consent agenda items?
Point of order, Mayor. We have recognitions and proclamations this evening. We have a Citizen Commendation Award to be presented. Number 5.
It's a weird configuration, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll pause talking about consent agenda items. Maybe the clerks can help come up with some ideas on that. Chief, you want to come on down? We'll come back to consent agenda items.
You generally want to go. You know,
Like opening a door and you can't walk through.
Go in order, though.
So, Chief, good to see you. Tell us about item 5.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, city manager, city attorney, department heads, and guests. Could I ask Deborah Joy to please join me? So, Mayor, we wanted to do this at council only because it's something that that I see, that the department sees, that's unfortunately prevalent in today's society. Last year alone, 2.6 million fraud reports through the Federal Trade Commission, over $12 billion in losses, and unfortunately Port Orange isn't immune to it. Unfortunately, these predators target our most vulnerable population, our elderly people who are trusting, who want to do the right thing. Imposter scams and the money that is lost to them, either through bank transfers or cryptocurrency, it accounts for all losses, more than all other forms of payment or scams combined. So it's prevalent, and again, as I said, Port Orange isn't immune to it. But fortunately, there's people like Deborah who are out there watching. So in this particular case, we saw unfortunately, our residents here in Port Orange received a scam. They were about to fall victim to it. They went to the bank, they took out $10,000 in cash, and were about to put it into a Bitcoin machine when Deborah intervened. She stopped them. She called the Port Orange Police Department. We were then able to talk to the couple. They were still convinced that it was not a scam and that they needed to follow through with the transaction.
Yes, very hard.
And it wasn't until the officer actually went to the bank with the couple that they realized that it was in fact an attempted fraud. So the bad part with the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin is once that money and that cash is in the machine, it is gone, right? Because this scam is probably not even originating in the United States. It's coming from Myanmar, Western Africa, and beyond, who knows. Unlike where we're able to do check schemes and stuff that our agency can investigate, once that money hits that crypto machine, it's gone. So fortunately, Deborah was there. So we wanted to recognize her just for stepping in. She saw what it was. She recognized it. She quickly intervened. And I said, you know, especially for an elderly couple to lose $10,000 like that on the spot. So we just thought that Deborah Joy should be commended for her vigilance, with the hope that everyone in the community could help stop these scams, which are increasingly victimizing our elderly and vulnerable residents. And with that, we wanted to present this citizen commendation to Deborah Joy for doing the right thing.
Very nice.
Outstanding.
All right, yeah, I work at oh sorry, hormonal.
It's okay. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
I work at Circle K right on Dunlop and in Village Trail, so right around the corner. And I see this way too much. And Circle K policy is it's not our machine, it's not our problem. But I see it all too often, and I seen the look on her husband's face that they were gonna lose a lot of money. So I, in good faith, couldn't let that happen. So I've stopped quite a few people, but this one, that was the most amount of money that someone that I've helped was gonna lose. So I'm really happy that they didn't get scammed. So thank you, City
Thank
Board.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Deborah, thank you for coming in tonight and giving us an opportunity to recognize a resident and somebody who works in our city for stepping up. Because I will tell you, we have an incredibly talented and skilled police department.
Oh yeah, they were
They
awesome.
can't do this on their own.
Right.
The safety of our community, how we react to things and how we prevent things, the folks that live in our city, work in our city, and visit our city, they play a critical role. You are a shining example of that.
Yeah.
So it is so important, and especially in this day and age, people are so reluctant to get involved. They'll put it on Facebook, but they won't call the police department, right? They won't try to get us information. They won't get involved and be a good witness sometimes. But you know, so we truly appreciate this and what you've done, and I know the victims and their families appreciate it immensely.
Oh yeah, the husband came and gave me a hug afterwards.
Oh, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet. So, Councilman Foley.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for doing that. It's really what makes Port Orange special to me is the people that actually live here and how well we take care of each other. You know, that's what makes it a community. And so it's fantastic you're looking out. There's a lot of scams out there. I mean, you know, the Bitcoin one, there's a new one going around where people are getting tons of, I got one today, very realistic looking, like it is from Florida Department of Transportation.
I got the same
And
one today.
yeah, I'm sure I know where they got our numbers, probably right off the city website. Either way, but hey, you know, you got an unpaid toll of this amount of money, and you got to click this link, and you know, I've warned people just be extremely cautious. My father, it would be the exact kind of person, unfortunately, at his age, who would fall victim to something like that, and so that you'd be looking out for anyone. I would just encourage you to continue to do so, and thank you very much for doing that. It means a lot to know people like you are out there helping our residents.
Thank you.
Councilman Gross.
Deborah, I mean, what you did was a shining example of what good stewardship as a community individual. I mean, it's unbelievable that you took the time, because in today's society, a lot of people would have just took a blind eye.
Oh yeah, I had a line of customers, and I'm like, you guys have to hold on, like it.
Yeah, so you're to be commended for what you did, and thank you from the bottom of my heart and everybody out here, because it takes citizens, like we've said once before up here, it takes the citizens to make this community what we are. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate that, and you know, this hits home to me this week with a family member who just got scammed, and they got them with the insurance on their cell phone. So it's real and it's happening. So thanks for stepping up and helping out.
Councilman Green.
Debbie, when I read this, I was heartwarmed. I got to tell you, again, same thing these guys said. Nobody wants to step up and do anything anymore to help anybody. It doesn't seem like everybody wants to stay in their own little business. And when I read this, I was like, man, you are awesome. And what you did is, you know, it might be something little to somebody, but to me, it's a big deal. And I really appreciate that. And I just want to say you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Congratulations. We appreciate you.
Mayor, can we just reiterate then to the public as well? So no federal, state, or local government agency, the IRS, to the city of Port Orange is going to ask anyone to pay a fine, a bill, in cryptocurrency, or to go buy $5,000 in gift cards. It's just not the way we operate. So if you get that and you have a concern, pick up a phone, call the entity that's telling you that you have to pay this amount, and verify the transaction before you do anything. So just to put that out there into the public. So.
Very good. Appreciate you. Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks again, Deborah.
I'm not paying that bill you sent me. I think it's a scam.
Okay, how about a motion to approve consent agenda items?
Move to approve consent items 6 through 11.
Second?
Call roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Gephardt?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grubbs?
Yes.
Mayor Stiltner?
Yes. Consent agenda items pass 5-0. Moving on to council member comments. I'm going to take a liberty here first and go first. I see we've got a bunch of students in here tonight from our ALAG program, right? Great to see you guys, but we want to see you closer, so why don't you all come on up. I know you have some papers for me to sign, so go ahead and bring those to me. Do you need some more agenda items to us? Okay.
Robin's going to get them.
Okay, she'll get them. Come on up, guys. Come on up for just a moment.
Mayor, also, we need to do public participation. I don't think we have any cards, though.
Oh,
We do not have any
yeah,
cards.
we have no public.
Okay, there we go.
Yep, right here. So, you know what? You're going to be the speaker for the group initially, right?
I
Tell
am
us
the
a little bit about your program and why you guys are here tonight.
Okay, well, the ALAC
Introduce
program-
yourself first. Sorry.
my name is Nora Mahmood. I'm the president of the Academy of Law and Government at Atlantic High School. Our academy is just basically about you have to learn how to be in public service and you get to learn how to be attorneys, whether it be attorneys, judges, detectives, even in the FBI, regular police officers. Like, you get to learn about every role in the public service field. And we do a lot of like mock things in our school. So we do a lot of mock trials, we do a lot of mock meetings and a lot of things like that. We have our own executive board in our program as well. We do like crime scene investigations. Like, my instructor, Mr. Long, he'll get like a mannequin for like a victim or like anything like that, and he'll set up a crime scene outside in the school, and he'll have us go solve it group by group. And it kind of helps us a lot to learn and connect with each other, learn how to communicate like how we would in the real world in these actual jobs. And every year we do like this trip. We go to Kissimmee, we go to a hotel in Kissimmee, and we do this trip called FPSA. It's called the Florida Public Service Association. It's a bunch of like criminal justice and law competitions. It's really fun. We actually just got back from it on Monday. But I don't know where I would be without the ALAG community. I don't know where I'll be like without all of my friends and everybody here. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. ALAG is an amazing community. I love Mr. Vera. I love Mr. Long. Those are our instructors. And yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17.
Yes.
You have a gift, because I will tell you, there are very few people, regardless of age, who have the ability to stand in front of that mic and speak as clearly and concisely as you do. So
Thank you
that is
so
a
much.
great gift. I'm not going to make all your friends get up and talk that much, but I am going to have all of them come up to the mic and just introduce yourselves and tell us what grade you guys are all in, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cheyenne Harold, and I'm the junior class representative on the ALAG board.
excellent.
Hi, my name is Cassidy Hurtado, and I'm a junior.
Excellent.
My name is Gwendolyn Roberts, and I'm a junior.
My name is Gabriella Rosenberg, and I'm a junior.
My name is Jillian Crawford, and I'm a junior, and I am the secretary on the ALAG class board.
Excellent.
My name is Mackenzie Carmen. I'm not on the board, but I'm 17 in 11th grade.
Excellent.
My name is Leah Craig, and I am also a junior.
My name is Marina Franco, and I'm a junior as well.
Excellent. Outstanding, ladies. Thank you guys for coming in tonight.
Can we just acknowledge how awesome it is that we have a bunch of young females also being involved in this?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's outstanding. So hang out, enjoy the rest of the meeting. I know our assistant city manager's got some more documents you guys need. I'll sign each one for each of you guys. But better than the document is now you're going to be on the YouTube thing. So you can just tell your teacher, say, hey, listen, just watch it on YouTube. So
I'll let Mr. Long know immediately.
all right, sounds good. Have a seat. Thank you guys. Councilman Green, what do you
I have
got
nothing
tonight?
tonight. Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Gephardt.
I'm inspired. We're in good hands.
We are,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, for
That's
sure.
all I have.
Go ahead. We got plenty of time.
Okay, so Parks and Recreations, you guys have already got the bunnies up. If y'all haven't walked around the city center, there's 10 bunnies hidden that started on April 11th through the 17th. All you have to do is come out, keep track of where the bunnies are, and come up back over to the Rex Center, and there's a prize waiting for you. Also, just a field note, Jazz Festival is coming up on Lakeside on April 25th, 26th. If you haven't been to that event, it's pretty phenomenal underneath the stars to see all that, and the young men and women that put that on for us. Also, a note for TPO. We have the long-range paving and bridges projects that TPO for Transportation Board has for Volusia, Flagler County. There's going to be a meeting at the Lakeside Community Center on Monday, April 21st. So if you're trying to see the projects that are coming and the long-range forecasting, that's from 4 to 6 p.m. on Monday, April 21st. And then lastly, on a great highlight, Memorial Park being open. We now have our docks back in, and that's a beautiful thing. It's coming to a head right now that we have that available coming up soon, right? Saturday. So that's coming up. Come out and join the parks back open.
That's it?
That's it.
Councilman Foley, what you got?
All right, awesome. Tracy got 2 of mine, so let's see here. I want to recognize Officer Jordan Snipes. If you guys saw in our weekly, he was recognized for at Daytona State College for outstanding academic performance and was inducted into the Daytona College Hall of Fame. It's because he performed a life-saving first aid after an instructor was severely injured in an accident while he was attending the academy. And so I wanted to give him a shout out. That was really cool. Also, another officer, Cody Rett. I hope I got his last name correct. He's been selected as the Volusia League of Cities Employee of the Year in Public Safety for the entire county, which is really cool. I know he was honored earlier this year for the city of Port Orange at the chamber event, but now he's being honored for the Volusia League of Cities. So congratulations to him. I think that's awesome. And also, Wayne, whenever you get to speak on item 14, when you do your city manager comments, during our consent agenda, we approved, I'm trying to make sure I have the exact information, but and you and I talked about this today at lunch, but we approved this one budget thing talking about lime disposal, and I understand that this actually some of our employees that found this. It's an $800,000 savings, perhaps, and I know we had Juno went out to, or a couple of our people went out to Colorado to see this firsthand, but basically we already have the plant, and changing the way we do it could save the city almost $1 million a year. And so I want to make sure I, highlight that and give credit to those employees. You can't say enough. It's a hard thing, especially in today's economy with inflation. It's hard on us to balance this budget and to keep our taxes as low as possible, and for employees to go the extra mile to find additional cost benefits to not only our city but to our residents in turn. That's just extraordinary work, and I want to make sure that we acknowledge those people and say thank you, because that is really exciting.
Appreciate it. Would you want to weigh in on that at all? Well, you can go ahead and do it right now if you want.
Yeah, and I hadn't had him brief me in on a couple weeks, but I'll see how well I can do with the technical aspects of it. But Steve Parnell, our utilities director, and Juno had gone out. So as part of our water treatment process, we end up with a byproduct of lime that has to be disposed. And there used to be a buyer that had interest, and we didn't have to pay. But as things have changed, there was no interest. So we're now paying to dispose of a byproduct. And these guys, staying on top of best practices around the country, saw and heard of a process that changes that, so you don't end up with a byproduct you have to pay to dispose of. You actually end up with sand as a byproduct. So they went out and took a look at it, and Smyrna's doing something similar, and this test will be a run to see if it works well. If it does, then we'll end up not having to pay that disposal. So that's where you get that $800,000 savings. You get a sand byproduct we could use to do sandbags in the event of the storms that come. So all of this was because of our staff staying on top of the right way to do things, and from the day we had to start paying for it, they had been coming in going, this bothers me. We need to find a way to save some money. And so that's the kind of things that they're out there doing, looking for ways to be more efficient and save funds.
So thank you, Steve and Juno. Appreciate that.
Great job.
Excellent. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, you got most of mine.
Ah.
So great job. The only one I wanted to touch base on is I just wanted to publicly mention and recognize a good friend of the city, Mark Bowling, a longtime resident. He has had to, for good reasons and gain, but he has had to resign from our Parks and Rec Advisory Board and our Planning Commission. And you know, he's kind of a quiet person. He doesn't expect a lot. And he probably wouldn't want to get up here and stand in front of us tonight anyhow, but you know, he has served this city in a volunteer capacity for over 25 years. And that type of level of volunteer service and commitment to your city can't go without recognition. So I
Is
just
he
want to
moving?
publicly say thank you. He is.
He is
just,
moving, but he's staying local.
Oh, okay.
yeah, barely outside the city
Yeah.
limits of Port Orange, but good for him, and him and his wife they're kind of embarking into a new chapter in their lives, and so it's a great thing. But I just want to say thank you to Mark Bowling for his service to the community. So.
Absolutely.
Item 13, City Attorney.
Enough for you tonight, Mayor.
Welcome back. Item 14, City Manager.
I don't have anything additional either.
Okay, thanks. How about item 15, Citizen Advisory Committee for the TPO? Speaking of volunteers.
Good evening, Ollie Ball with the CSC from TPO. We had our monthly meeting this week today, and unfortunately I was in Orlando watching Ian play golf, so I couldn't get back in time for the meeting. So I'll stand up here for another 30 seconds and get you on the next item if that's all right.
How
And
about we keep you in place and we move on to item 16, Parks and Recreation Advisory Board?
I'll also copy you on the every summary that the staff gives out. So
perfect.
We did not have an agenda tonight for the Parks and Rec Board meeting.
Okay.
And so, and you mentioned Mark. Mark's one of 2 resignations, so we need to have two spots filled by July 15th, if that's possible.
I did tell Mark, I said after 25 years of service, you don't get to just exit the board. You have to now go recruit people to be on the board. So I have challenged him with that, and I know he'll be looking for some great folks that may want to serve.
I got a couple people in as well that I'm trying to work over.
Yeah, good. We
That's all I
appreciate
got.
you. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks, Bobby.
I guess I should have asked that. Anybody got any questions for Bobby while he's up here? No, we're good? All right. Moving on to item 17, second reading of ordinance number 2025-11. Mr. Attorney.
An ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, approving the First Amendment to the Master Development Agreement for the Summer Trees Plaza Plan Commercial Development to allow additional commercial uses consistent with the uses allowed in the city's conventional commercial zoning districts and update signage and architecture requirements to be consistent with current land development codes, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date.
Can I have a motion, please?
I'll go ahead and move to approve ordinance number 2025-11.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments from council on this? Second reading?
Second reading.
Good. Any comments from the public on this item? No. Back to council. Last bite. Call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
No.
Councilman Gephardt?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grubbs?
No.
Mayor Stiltner?
Yes. 3-2. Item 18. First reading of ordinance number 2025-12.
An ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, zoning property consisting of approximately 1.23 acres from planned commercial development to professional office, authorizing revision of the official zoning atlas and providing an effective date.
Welcome, my friend.
Evening. Tim Berman, Community Development. Typically, every 2 years, we bring kind of a series of rezonings before the council here. This is similar to what we've done in the past, where we have outdated PCDs that were established in the late 80s, early 90s, that have unique requirements that don't really fit with the current standards in Port Orange, and also have a set of uses that do not comply with basically the requirements of Port Orange in terms of the uses that are up to date then. So the first property that we have is the Regency. Basically PCD there. It's at the off of Nova Road. This property is currently a PCD from the late 80s and has a very limited amount of uses that can be permitted on it then. So as basically people try to get developed in this multi-tenant building, Unfortunately, staff has to say no because those uses are not listed in the MDA. So what we'd like to do is take this PCD, rezone it to professional office, which is basically the zoning that should be in place on this property. And that way it uses all the city current code requirements and the uses that are allowed in the professional office district. Property has future land use of commercial, so the zoning is appropriate for that. And also too, the properties in front of it then too were also former PCDs that we have changed to commercial zoning. So staff is recommending approval of this request.
This is a very unique piece of property and businesses in there, because if you don't know it's there, you're not gonna know it's there because it doesn't have any frontage on a main arterial road. But there's been a lot of great little business, a lot of startup businesses that needed a very small place to get off the ground, and this has provided that over the years. So it is a very unique location, and this seems pretty reasonable.
Mayor, we didn't do a
Oh,
motion before.
I was gonna,
to
yep,
present
my
this.
apologies. Can we get a motion to put this on the floor for discussion?
Get a motion for 2025-12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Thank you.
Councilman Foley?
I don't have any questions on this one. Like you said, most people wouldn't even know it's there. And, you know, to me, these two zonings are very similar. So it's just kind of moving things forward and update. It's more of an update, and I would almost consider it to be ministerial. So.
Councilman Groves?
I agree with Councilman Foley. It's an update that will actually help the area and the business itself.
I have nothing.
Councilman Green, this property's been around as long as you have.
I know it.
Yeah.
But-
Anything?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. Anything from the public? Any comments on this particular item? No? Back to council? No further comments? Thank you. Call the roll?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Gephardt?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grubbs?
Yes.
Mayor Stillman?
Yes, 5-0. Item 19, first reading of ordinance number 2025-13.
An ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, rezoning property consisting of 5.3 plus or minus 5.38 acres from planned commercial development (PCD) to community commercial (CC), authorizing revision of the official zoning atlas and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to put this on the floor?
Get a motion for 2025-13.
Is that to motion to approve? Okay. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Go ahead, Tim.
Tim Bergman, Key Development. Similar to the last property we talked about, this is another PCD from back in the early 1990s. And that is basically this, Ritter's went out of business and development started coming in for this property. We noted there was quite a bit of unique requirements on here that staff were having to enforce, like specifically only using a certain color blue, which they no longer make. So the basically proposal here is to change this to community commercial, allow for basically to follow the development requirements in the land development code, along with uses of community commercial, which is consistent with the area there in terms of that commercial node at Herbert Street and Clyde Morris Boulevard then. So staff is recommending approval of this rezoning request.
All right, more clear. We'll start on this end.
So that little area, like when we were doing some projects, every little area had a theme. So you're saying like the blue roof theme is out in this little area and it can change colors and change looks and all that, or?
That's correct. Then basically that was they themed that property here for Lot 2, and Lot 1 has to follow the exact same color requirements. When we started looking at what those color requirements are, basically that color blue, the paint manufacturer said we can't even make that. And then we have a code that says that has to be in place, and so you put a staff in a bind there. This had unique requirements, like the picnic tables had to be painted a certain color.
Right.
So there are a lot of unique requirements that basically we don't have here in Port Orange and other properties. There still is that overall general consistency with the architecture on the properties here, which will have to apply here on this one if Lot 1 is ever developed. But in terms of making sure it's the exact same color material and stuff like that, then this MDA kind of went to extremes on that then, and we're just looking to basically allow the current codes that are in place throughout Port Orange apply to this when it comes to architecture.
But no specific theme colors
specific
or anything
theme
like that
colors.
required, but if they came in there and wanted to change the color of the plaza, they would need to come through.
Well, the only thing that's changing is Lot 2 and Lot 1. Lot 2 is where Ritter's used to be, and then Lot 1 is the vacant lot to the north of it then. Lot 3, which is I think the multi-tenant building, that will remain in the PCD, so that will stay by itself then. It's not part of this request.
Okay, all right, good, thanks.
Nothing. Makes sense to me.
Councilman Groves?
I'm good.
Councilman Foley?
Zilch.
Anybody in the public have any comments on this item? Seeing none, back to council. Last bite. Call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Gephardt?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grips?
Yes.
Mayor Stillner?
Yes, 5-0.
Thank you, Tim.
Tim, I give you a bonus points for not using the phrase "it painted us into a corner." Good job. All right. Item 20, City Council Committee Reports. First Step Shelter.
Yes, so last night we met at the shelter itself, and I'll tell you, a lot of conversation about support for the shelter came up, future funding. There are some, the way the shelter's funded is through the county and the municipalities that are around it. And there was a lot of discussion about, well, if the city only sends 2 people there a year, is it really worth being a part of it? And I kind of, this First Step Shelter is a necessity for this community, not just Port Orange, but East Volusia County, even West Volusia County as a whole. The people that actually end up there are people that are not your typical panhandler type that you see that we're all kind of worried about on every corner in Volusia County right now. The people that are utilizing the services that are provided there are trying to get in a better situation with their life. They're being sheltered, they're being fed, and they're also being led. And that's the important part about us supporting and continuing to support this First Step Shelter. They have a great rate of success in taking someone out of the shelter and finding them permanent housing, in the 90%. So there's some fantastic success stories coming out of it. It's only 5.5 years in service, and the numbers went from 60 on average to almost 100, and I just see a lot of wonderful things coming out of there. I encourage our support to continue when it comes up to talking about that in the budget, and I would encourage additional support as well, because it is helping.
So
Also,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
before you want. So the numbers and the percentages that you talk about actually are working by design, because the reality of it is that before this program existed, there wasn't a lot of resources. There were some, but they were very minimal and very limited.
Yeah.
And the way this works is when law enforcement and other folks out on the street encounter and interact with people that are homeless, that need this kind of support, they can decline it, and overwhelmingly they do. And I know that, initially, like, we used to look at that, we were so disappointed that we offer this service to 100 people and maybe 4 take us up on it.
Maybe.
Yeah. But the reality of it is what you're talking about is those 4 that took it up on it really wanted the assistance. They wanted the guidance. They wanted to better their situation. What you don't want is to fill these shelters with people who really don't want to do that. They just wanted a shower for the night or whatever. And so, by design, it is working where the folks who do want that service, who do want that resource, it's an option for us now and for them. And the success rate for the ones that do go and take up the resource is really, it's hard to argue with. I mean, the success rate is really good.
So I also want to bring up the fact that, because this came up where someone did a citizen ride-along program and they came across 20 people and it was 0 for 20 on getting them to go out to the shelter. Well, guess what? There are people going out to the shelter that aren't being encountered by a police officer. It's not just designed for that. So if you use that as a number that, hey, that's not helping our city because not enough people want to take advantage of it when we encounter them, that's not a good scale to use to say if it's successful or not.
Right.
It's an option. So here my question back to that person was, hey, listen, let me ask you this. If all 20 decided they needed the help and we didn't have it, where would you put them? Where would we put them?
Yeah.
All right. They also approved a 3-year employment agreement with their executive director. So that passed last night. So she can go and work and continue to do good work.
Good. How about
Pick 'em
some
next.
information on Port Orange South Daytona Chamber of Commerce?
The most important thing about the Port Orange South Daytona Chamber is tomorrow night. They have open to the public is a tasteful affair where local restaurants will be showcasing what they do in their restaurants at the Riverside Pavilion, and that's open to the public. I believe it's $35 a person, and it's a fantastic fun time. It's going to be beautiful weather, and the food's always great. So
What time's that
if you
start?
want to participate, that
5:30?
5:30. Yep. Yep. And that's all
right.
I've got.
Anything else to come before us tonight? No? Good to see everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you.